when you were talking about Derby County and the championship, all of a sudden
Hmm.
I thought, well, isn't there an American striker absolutely killing it in the championship in
Yes.
Barnsley? So
Yes.
Daryl
Daryl
Dike,
Dike.
right? It's Daryl
Yep.
Dike.
It's
That's how
Daryl.
you
It's Daryl Dike.
DK. Okay,
DK.
okay,
Yep. And he actually has a brother, older brother that played in MLS in Major League Soccer for a little while named Bright DK.
okay,
But Daryl, not even 18 months ago, was actually playing for the University of Virginia, which
okay.
is widely seen as one of the best collegiate teams in history over in the states for soccer. And he was actually drafted by Orlando City. And yes, there's still such a thing like a draft in Major League Soccer. And he scored like 5 or 6 goals, I think, in the pandemic ridden 2020, and was then loaned to Barnsley, and was loaned to Barnsley with kind of, I think the price tag put on him was too high at the time because he really, I mean, he was interesting to watch in Major League Soccer. He went to Barnsley. I believe he's got about 9 goals in 14 games. They went from being mid-table, and I think today they locked up their
They
promotion
did.
playoff. Yeah, which is
They did.
just amazing. And it really, I mean, it comes down. They have another guy, Cauley Woodrow, Luke Mowat, Luke or Alex Mowat, and Daryl DK has just been. I mean, he's transformed him to another level. Kid's only 20, I think. So um, massive. And to think about his potential linking up on the men's national team with guys like Pulisic and McKennie and Tyler Adams and Gio Reyna makes me a very, very happy person.
Yeah. How
And
do you think
yeah,
how do you think the US is going to line up with all this? Is it going to be like a 4-3-3 with McKennie, Tyler Adams, Giorena, or is
yeah.
it going to be something else?
It it really, and I'm not much of a tactician, but they do like their hold up striker at the top, right?
Okay.
We've spent many years with Josie Altador at the top, and Josie's still got plenty left in the tank. It's just whether or not he is healthy. But a guy like a Daryl DK actually has similar Josie Altador qualities, but then you also add speed to the mix. You add he'll bulldoze you off the planet. I mean, he's just one of those guys, so strong. So it'll be really interesting to see how they fit him. But I would imagine when you have a Josh Sargent and a Daryl DK fighting for that striker position, um, I see a whole lot more versatility with a guy like DK.
Oh,
And then you can
yeah, yeah.
put Reyna, you can put Pulisic, you have Adams, McKennie, and Musa in that midfield, and you've got yourself a good recipe for
So
a
many
solid future.
options.
We'll see though.
So many
So
options in the
many
States
options.
now. Oh my gosh. You must be so proud.
You're
No?
you're making me think too hard about it. I know that at some point something's going to come crashing down. They're all going to have bummed hamstrings, whatever it is. But
Well,
we're coming off that little thing called not qualifying for the World Cup. So
yeah.
just to have positivity and optimism in the camp again is amazing.
And
Yeah.
there's another question I really wanted to do to you, and it was because yesterday we got the kid at San Jose Earthquake, Cade
Mm-hmm.
Cowell. Is
Yeah.
it Cowell?
Yeah.
Cowell,
Cade Cowell.
and like an assist, a goal at 17 years old. One more.
Yes.
I do
Yeah.
see that he is a Mbappe-esque player. Is it too bold for me to say this? Because he's really speedy. He likes to go to the wing. He can push to the middle. He's good with both feet.
Yep.
Is it
He's
is it
he.
is it a bold statement saying that this kid is a Mbappe-esque player?
I'd say he's got potential.
Okay.
But yeah, Mbappe. You just have to see first and foremost the physical transformation this kid has had over the last couple years. I believe he was signed when he was 15,
Okay.
and he's already got 20 appearances for the Earthquakes. He's got a guy like Chris Wondolowski, who is the all-time leading scorer of Major League Soccer.
Okay.
He's got him essentially as his mentor. And yeah, he's starting to peek through in a good way. I mean, the assist was the most impressive of the bunch, but it's early in the season. We'll see what happens. Cade is definitely one of several guys a lot of people should be watching in Major League Soccer. I mean, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we probably wouldn't even need to spend much time on some of the talent coming out of MLS. But obviously, guys like Weston McKennie, Chris Richards, Tyler Adams.
Oh, the FC Dallas kids, of course.
Oh yeah, I mean it's sent more eyes our way, and you got Cade Cowell at San Jose. He should have a massive year. And then to add to the CC type of thing, Caden Clark, the New York Red Bulls. He's another one that, yeah, he's phenomenal, and he's a guy that you would think he's got like 100 pro games under his belt with his positioning, with his versatility. He's getting better at his defensive game, but ultimately the kid only scores bangers. He's got 4 or 5 goals maybe early on in his career, still only 17. And actually there's rumors, I believe it's actually substantiated rumors, or it might even be announced and I've missed it. But he is likely heading to Red Bull Leipzig in 2022.
I think it's done. I think it's done.
Yeah, I think it's done too. I guess I missed the memo. I don't know. But yeah, he will be headed there and he fully deserves it. But he's another guy to watch. So Caden Clark and Cade Cowell are 2 to watch, and we could go on and on about the other guys that are happening. But you know, we're early in the season. We're going to see a whole lot more kids get some chances. You're going to see guys like Jack McGlynn in Philadelphia. You're going to see George Bello and Gianluca Busio, who are guys that have been on the radar of European squads. And I'd be very surprised if every one of those names, except maybe McGlynn, who's just starting out, and he's a hometown kid where I'm from Philadelphia. So I, threw him in there because he's, I have high hopes for him.
Mackenzie too, right?
I'd be very...
It was there.
Yep, Mackenzie went to Genk. Yep, and Paxton Aronson, who is Brendan Aronson's brother. But the guys that we mentioned, Gianluca Busio, Cal, Clark, who was the other one I mentioned? Oh my goodness, all of them.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the left back at Atlanta United, George Bello. These are guys that I'd be very surprised in the next year or two if they're still in Major League Soccer. You're going to see European teams picking them up because you can still do so relatively cheaply. And these guys have massively high ceilings. But yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah, you got a lot of prospects going to the Bundesliga. And I think the Bundesliga knows too right now that there's a lot of talent in the US. So isn't there like a partnership between Bayern and FC Dallas?
There is. There's actually another kid there, right? 17 years old, 16 years old, I think, Justin Che, who is actually part German, could actually go there right now without I think he's got a passport and everything. And I've heard from people that have watched more of him that he has a ceiling much higher than Chris Richards, who is now starting on loan for Hoffenheim from Bayern. And you're gonna see this continue. So, for example, Cade Cowell actually is also he has I think he's actually eligible for Mexico as well. So there's going to be a national team fight in the near future, kind of like there was for Yunus Musa and Efren Alvarez. It's an interesting time, but it's a fun.
The U.S. is winning some of these kids, so it's yeah. Okay, fair enough. I really wanted to know your insights about it.